Welcome to R&R, Relationships in Real Estate. I'm your host, Chris Silva, and with me is my beautiful wife, Cori Silva.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us here on R&R. Chris and I are the owners of Silva Realty, Silva Lending, and Silva Property Management. And we've been in the real estate and mortgage industry since the early 2000s. We're super excited to have you all here with us today. Thank you so much for always tuning in and showing your love and support. We appreciate you. So if you're tuning into our live show, it's our second week on YouTube Live. Last week was interesting, trying to bring everyone over from Facebook Live. Hopefully we get that all sorted out. And if you're streaming just the audio, we appreciate you checking out our little show here. So welcome to the third week of May. We are halfway through the month. Summer is on the horizon. How is your May going?
Well, as you know, spring season has already kicked off.
Right.
What does that mean? That's when everything gets jumping with real estate, right? Nonstop. I feel like every morning, in a good way, every day's been like Groundhog's Day.
Yes. Nonstop
Waking up, working, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, wake up, you're looking at the calendar because my baby taught me well.
I got him trained with the calendar.
It took 5 years, but I got it. I'm on the calendar now.
Yes.
Just reminding myself what I got going on, right? But every day it's either we're showing property, we got listing appointments, checking offers, working on escrows. It's boom, boom, boom all day long. And then any of the time in between, not free time, because we also schedule this in. You're picking up the kids from school. We're making sure we're playing with them, doing homework. And that's our day every day. There's no time to take a break.
No, we were just having this conversation yesterday. Chris said, I'm really tired. I wish I could just sit down right now and watch this Laker game, but these kids want to play, so I got to get outside. I told him there are no breaks when it comes to being a parent. You
None.
need to just get up and go.
But need to embrace it, right?
Absolutely, because one day they're not going to want us to be playing with them. They're not going to want to go outside. They're not going to need help with their homework. Yesterday I was juggling homework with work and making dinner and making sure everyone got fed. It's insane every day, but I love it. I wouldn't change it for anything.
Right. And just continuing with this theme, we just this past Sunday was Mother's Day.
Yes.
So it's more of that, right? So huge shout out to all the amazing moms out there.
Mm-hmm.
I've personally been blessed to have great woman figures in my life for a long time, starting with my grandmother, and then Antoinette Rob's mom, Jody Rivas, Joe's mom, right? Like Lala, great mothers in my life. And then I met your mother, right? And your mom has been so amazing, right?
Yes.
So instrumental. And then now the best mother I've ever known is sitting right across from me.
Oh, thank you.
So just what a shout out to all the amazing moms.
Yes, shout out to all the mommies out there. We hope you had an amazing weekend. We have a lot of Mother's Day stuff to talk about a little bit later in the show. Be sure to leave us a comment and let us know how your family celebrated Mother's Day this past weekend. Did you have breakfast in bed? Any fun trips? How were you spoiled? Please let us know because we are interested in hearing, and it's always fun to hear how people get creative or how people just chill, because sometimes that's all a mom wants is to chill, right?
Right. That's tough. I don't know if many moms that get the opportunity to just chill.
Right, exactly. So who is ready for summer? Is the year going by way too fast for you?
We were just talking about it. Yes. It's going by way too fast. We got a month left of school.
I know.
These kids,
every single day, the kids are like, how many more days until summer break? And I have to ask Siri because I forget. It's not like something that's in my mind that takes up space each day. And Santino says, oh my gosh, only 21 more days. Well, NOLA confirmed today, actual school days, it's only 15 more school days.
So just 3 more weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yes. So her teacher has the countdown in the classroom. So they're all ready.
I bet you the teachers do because they get the whole summer off.
Every teacher I know, they know I wouldn't be surprised if they knew how many more minutes they had left in that classroom.
I'm sure they got that clock.
They are counting down. So I'm ready for summer. It's been a cool spring. It's warming up a little bit today. So I think this is like a little sample of what we're going to have in the summertime, which I'm happy about. So
I hope so. I hope we don't go from one extreme to the next because we had snow this year,
right.
in Santa Clarita, which has happened less than like 3 times in 20 years, less than a
Right.
handful of times for sure. So I'm hoping that we don't go into like this crazy heat
I
that we've never
know.
experienced either, right?
We'll have to wait and see. I hope it's a nice mild summer, just like everything else has been
I
kind of
mean,
like a mild spring.
we need to make sure that we're going to the beach every single week.
Yes, yes, yes.
Every single week, for
So,
sure.
if you all have been watching the show or listening to the show, you know that we've been rooting for the Lakers. And since last week's show, they beat the Warriors and are now in the Western Conference Finals, right? They played
Right.
last night, and unfortunately, they lost game one.
Right.
I
But
know.
let's talk about the loss after, okay? Let's just talk about the win against the defending champion, the Warriors, right?
Yes.
Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green. Like, this is the dynasty, which they are. I know I'm a Laker fan. I'm biased. It's definitely considered a dynasty. They won 4 championships in 10 years.
Wow.
That's huge, right? And and one of the championships that they lost to LeBron, right, when he was at the Cavs. So it is a huge deal for the Lakers to dethrone the champions,
Right.
right? On top of that, I think this would be LeBron's greatest championship he already has 4. He's trying to tie Kobe with 5. I think it would be his greatest championship because he's got AD, but AD's kind of unhealthy sometimes, and he missed a
Right.
lot of games this year. LeBron missed a lot of games. The Lakers weren't even going to make the playoffs. They were in the 12th seed, 12th place in the division. They clawed back, fought back without LeBron because he was hurt, and they made it to the 7th seed. Now, in the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference Championship, we have a 7th seed Lakers and an 8th seed Miami Heat.
Wow.
These 2 teams met in the bubble 3 years ago.
Right.
What a lot of people aren't talking about, the 4 teams that are in right now, which is Lakers against the Nuggets and the Heat against Boston, they were the same 4 teams that met in the bubble year.
Right.
So we'll see. Is it going to be the Lakers and the Heat again? The Lakers in Boston? I mean, that's really all it could be because, I'm not giving the Nuggets a shot here. I think it's going to be the Lakers in 7.
Oh, we'll have to wait and see. We'll be rooting in our house. We also said that we're going to make it a family affair, right? When we're rooting for the Lakers, and how I had to make sure that that game needs to be on the TV because if we just don't put it on, the kids won't watch it.
Right.
And we said we can't give them options. And now Santino is like all into it. He's asking questions. He's learning about the game. He's rooting for the Lakers. I love that.
So he's asking me questions also. So Santino started to like basketball because we've been playing a lot of horse
Right.
outside, right?
Right.
He loves to play horse.
Mm-hmm.
And Nola's trying to shoot the ball, but she barely hit the rim yesterday.
Yes.
Which
But
is a big
she's-
deal for her.
Well, yeah, because she's so little.
She's so
and
little to hit the
she's
rim is a
building
big
up her
deal.
strength to get that ball up there.
Yeah, but Santino's asking me questions now like, Daddy, after I stop dribbling, he asked me this yesterday, how many steps can I take before it's a foul? And I'm like, it's not a foul, baby. It'd be traveling, but you could take 2 steps. So then I'm, like little by little, he's asking more questions, which is great because I think eventually they're going to play more, do another sport besides jiu-jitsu.
Right.
But I'm really, really hoping for indoor sports.
Chris is so. You're too much. He's
Yeah,
so funny.
I want that
He's-
air-conditioned
He's
sport,
thinking
right?
about like where he's gonna have to sit for all these
Yeah,
hours. He doesn't
yeah.
want to be out in the heat.
I don't want to be a baseball dad or a soccer dad. Football, Cori's already X'd that out because of the head injuries, right?
Yes, no, thank you.
So, I mean, that jiu-jitsu is great. It's most of the time it's indoor,
Except for during the pandemic, these poor kids are having to fight outside in the heat.
right? But it's back indoors
It's back
now.
indoors, yes.
So I'm hoping for like volleyball or basketball. What else is indoors? I'm sure there's some more indoor sports.
There's hockey. Then you'll be nice and
Hockey would be
cool.
great, but I mean
But
that's
yeah,
not
no,
gonna happen.
I want my kids to have their teeth.
Chess, like chess championships, right?
There you
I'd
go.
be so about that. It's all indoors. Let's do it.
Paddleboarding.
I mean,
What is that called?
I don't think it's paddleboarding.
What's it called?
I don't know. It's not tennis. It's maybe.
What Forrest did.
Yeah, Forrest Gump, maybe. Ping pong.
Ping pong.
There you go. Forrest did it all.
He sure did.
Forrest did it all.
Oh my goodness. So catching up with the Silvas, Chris was a little bit under the weather this past week. So he didn't work out. but he still pushed through it for all of his clients, made it to his appointments. But yeah, he had to give himself a little bit of a break to try to recover, right?
Yes, and it's also just caring about my neighbor, right? So jiu-jitsu is different. We're in each other's faces. I mean, faces are touching some of the time, like sweat's all pouring on somebody else's head sometimes. Like, I just didn't want to cough in somebody's face. I'm going to get somebody else sick.
Right.
It's going to affect the whole gym, right?
Right.
We're a tight-knit little family. So, I mean, that's really why I didn't go. I paid for it yesterday, though.
You got your butt kicked?
I mean, no, actually, it wasn't a bad day, but you lose your wind so fast. If you stop going, if you don't go for a week, it's really hard that first class back.
Yeah, to try to get back.
I really need to go like 3 times a week minimum.
Right.
So we'll see if I can do that this week. I'll try my best.
Do your best. That's all you can do. And I love how you have your counting. You're keeping tally of all the days that you go, because you set a goal for yourself of 100 classes for the year, right?
Right.
You're
I'm behind.
You're about a quarter of the way there.
I hit 24 yesterday.
Yes. We're almost halfway through the year. So you're going to have to kick it into high gear.
So basically, I just got to go from 2 times a week to 3 times a week.
You got this.
I can do it. I'm going to do
it. So this past week, we had the opportunity to go to our kids' Pico Prom. So Pico Prom was a dance. It wasn't really a prom, but they did like a little play on words, the PTA did, and the kids had so much fun. Now, if you tuned in last week, you would have heard that Santino was really not wanting to go to a school dance. That's just not his jam. He was like, no. He got really mad at me when I was bringing up how we were going to go and get dessert afterwards, because I figured, if I bribe him with some ice cream or a treat, he'll want to go.
That didn't work.
It did not work. He was so upset with me. He didn't talk to me for a little bit. And I'm like, oh no, I feel like I just had a flash forward of what the teenage years are going to look like. And I really was not having that. I was like, I can't have my baby be this mad at me.
For anybody that doesn't know, Santino's 8 years old.
Yes.
Going on 9, right? Nola's 6, going on 7 really quick. So, I mean, this is the first the first time I think that you guys really were on opposite ends of the spectrum, you and Santino, where you kind of butted heads on this one. You were like, I saw the mommy bear come out and like, no, you're going. I was like, okay. I don't usually see that side of you, so I was surprised that you forced him to go.
It was a family dance. Like, no, you're going.
Right.
I'm sorry, but you're not going to stay home. Who's going to watch you? I'm not going to get a sitter for you because you don't want to go. Because Santino's the type of kid who's like, says he doesn't want to do something, and then I know once he does it, he's going to have a great time, and it happens every single time. So Chris came up with a brilliant idea to invite his best friend, and his best friend's family they weren't planning on going, but they met up with him there at the dance. And then we took him home afterwards, and Santino had the best time ever with Benji. And instead of actually dancing, they went to this dance, but it was really like a glorified play date, because they just played on the playground the whole time, had fun with their friends, got out. It was a nice excuse for them to get out and have a great time. So it was nice. We had a good time.
It was so cool. So I think more like the 5th and 6th graders, and then girls of all ages, like all grades, were the ones in the auditorium dancing.
Yes.
Right? Like, because the little boys.
There was little boys in there too dancing.
Not very many.
Yes, there were. You didn't go in there too often. I saw him getting down in there.
It was like a 41
There was this
ratio.
one dad getting down in there. I was like, wow. And some of these people dressed up to the nines. Like, they took the Pico Prom. They kind of gave the disclosure. You could dress up, or you could just wear what you wore to school. We just want you to come have a fun time with your family. But some of these people dress like it was their first time ever going to a prom.
But you don't know. Some of these people, it might have been their first prom, right?
Maybe.
It might have been. Maybe they missed their prom, because some of these mom and dads,
they
were dressed
gowns
up like
and like a tux.
Suits. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
They went all out. And, I'm usually a suit guy, right? But, I'm going to match my family. And Santino he didn't even want to take off his Star Wars shirt. He's like, you want me to go? I'm wearing this Star Wars. Mommy tried to get him to wear a Hawaiian shirt.
I was like, let's
nah,
put this
girl.
nice shirt on you. He was like, nope, I'm going to stay in this shirt
Like,
I wore today. And they happened to have twin day that day. So him and his friend went as twins.
Right.
To the dance.
I told you, stop while you're ahead, girl. You got to go to this dance. Do not push the shirts.
Oh, my goodness.
But you know what was so cool about it is, I don't know if there's a lot of other weird parents out there like me and Cori, but, I love to see my kids. We love to see our kids in their element, right?
Right.
we can't be there. Like, I'd love to be a fly on the wall at school or at recess, right? To see what they're doing, see how they're interacting with their friends. What kind of conversations are they having, right? Like, are they playing rough? Like, how do they play? Like, I want to know all this stuff. So we got to see that because really, yeah, there was kids in the auditorium dancing, but our kids were outside playing on the playground. And then we got to see like what kind of kids he hangs out with, and then ask, hey, do you hang out with this kid? Do you not hang out? You're right.
Yes.
So kind of figure out, and then see them in their element. See Nola run around with her friends. Like, Nola comes across very shy, right? If anybody knows our baby girl, she's shy.
Right.
Not on the playground. That girl was all over the place. She had her little friends. She was not shy one bit.
Nope.
She was playing with Santino's friends. She was not shy one bit. And see, I wouldn't see that interaction if we weren't at that dance.
Right. That was
They
fun.
should have a play date night at all schools.
Right. They should do it like once a quarter.
Yeah, so you
get
can see
together
your kids,
and they go and play.
and the parents can get to know each other.
Yes, that was nice. We got to talk to some of the fun parents there. That's always interesting. I love it. You get all the chisme. For some reason, with Chris and I, people just love to open up and tell us all the chisme. It's so great. I love it.
I don't know how that happens, but we get
either.
all the cheese, man, all the time.
Luckily, we keep it to ourselves. So just keep bringing it on. We like to hear about it.
Oh, yeah, we definitely keep it to ourselves. I mean,
Yes.
that's probably why people feel comfortable telling us stuff.
Absolutely.
But I mean, I hear it everywhere I go. People just always tell me, but I never say anything. I mean, you know about it. That's about it.
That's all that matters.
Yeah.
So Nola Santino and I went to a spa birthday party on the weekend at Pamper Me Pretty in the Valley. It was in North Hollywood. It was for our sweet friends Nadine's birthday, their daughter Nadine. She turned 5. And this place, I walked in there and I'm like, wow, it was so awesome. It was like this fancy day spa for kids, for little girls to be pampered. I'm like, wow, they had little manis, they got makeup, hair, they got a fashion show, and they did dress up. They had games. I'm like,
They walked the runway, right?
oh my goodness, yes. It was so cool for a little girl to go do. What a fun idea for a party, right? And I was talking to the owner. I said, you definitely need to open something in Santa Clarita because I could totally see parents wanting to have this experience for their daughters because there's little girly girls who like stuff like that. But my thing was like, you need to open this for adults because I want to get together with my friends and get manis and petties and get our hair and makeup done and just hang out.
And walk the runway?
Well, I don't really need the walk the runway thing, but maybe like some tea and some like little sandwiches. That would be so nice. I'm like,
They don't have stuff like this already for adults,
no.
for women?
I mean, I guess they have a nail salon, but they don't shut the whole nail salon down just to do a private party.
Well, it's because women don't have that many friends.
Oh, wow.
I'm just messing.
You just like all of our viewers now just tuned out because of you.
I mean, I hardly ever see like a deep 10 group of women being all tight.
You
and
are
friends.
being very general right now. And yeah, I have to highly disagree with you because what you're saying right now is highly offensive to people, I think.
But it's probably accurate.
No, it's not
Let's just
accurate.
call it what it is. How many different groups of women do you know that all the women are friends and it's a bigger group than 5? I never see that.
My boob group friend. You want to know why women all don't hang out all the time? Because they're busy taking care of their kids. That's why. That's why. So that's why you see all these dads hanging out, going playing golf, watching the game, chilling. Okay.
Because the women are taking care of the kids?
Because the women are taking care of the kids and holding it down at home. That is why.
Man, I don't know if I offended the whole audience or I just offended you.
I think me and the audience. We'll have to take a poll and hear what people think about your comment and your generalization.
Yeah, I don't think women run that deep in deep groups like that. I just don't see it. Like over time, eventually the crazy comes out, right? And then one by one, I think they start to alienate themselves.
Yeah, I think I don't agree with you with what you're saying.
I mean,
right
I've seen it with some of your friends that just end up being crazy. Like we kind of knew
But
they were crazy.
I don't think it's just women. I think men too. Any group of friends, like people change over time. So for you to generalize and say it's only women, yeah, no. I think that's a sexist statement.
Probably.
Yeah.
I probably agree. It might be accurate, but yeah, it's probably sexist too.
But you have no filter, so who cares, right?
Hey, I'm just telling like I see it. That's all.
Okay, well, it's inaccurate.
I think it's more common to see a big group of men hanging out like that have known each
Like
other
I
for a long
said,
time.
the women are at home taking care of the kids. Speaking of women taking care of kids, how was everyone's Mother's Day? That's what I want to hear about. Is everyone getting pampered and spoiled? We had a family dinner to celebrate my mom and our sister-in-laws for early Mother's Day at our house on family dinner night. And I ordered food because, let's be real, I didn't want to cook. What mom wants to cook on Mother's Day or Mother's Day weekend for that matter? And who wants to cook or clean afterwards? So everybody got paper plates. We ordered in. I went and picked up the food. And then we just chilled, relaxed, ate, enjoyed ourselves. We weren't slaving over the stove, which was really nice. And then we played Scrabble, right? And then Chris had to talk his crap as usual.
Okay, so if anybody's followed the show, you know, I said that basically these women at our house are
Here we go again, these women.
my wife
Okay.
and my brother's girlfriends or girlfriend, let's just call it what it is, cheat at Scrabble. And
We don't cheat.
and here's what I mean by that is you don't follow the rules, right? So there's a timer, and here's what they do all the time.
Okay.
The time, let me finish.
They do all the time. You need to stop right now.
Okay. Should I just say Jocelyn? But you've done it too. And you girls give each other a pass. So the time runs out, which means by the rules, you lost your turn. It goes to the next person. Sorry. But what happens is you guys give each other that little extra few seconds, and then you put whatever word you were going to put down. But the time ran out. You lost your turn. So I haven't played in months and months and months. I decided, all right, I'm going to go ahead and play this time. I had the worst letters, let me tell you. Hardly any points. Like I think I had a lot of a lot of 1 point letters. So I was like, there's no way I'm going to win this time. I was talking all that trash and there's no way I'm going to win. And I still pulled out the victory. How did that happen? Because we played by the rules. That's why. Because I made sure nobody got extra time when their turn was up, right? Ran out of time. I think Jocelyn lost like 4 turns. Did you lose any turns?
I lost 0 turns, thank you very much. And Jocelyn waits to the last minute to put her tiles down. So when you say you guys, no, okay.
Okay, so I changed.
So
I said Jocelyn.
don't lump me into that. I don't cheat. Thank you very much. But what I have a problem with is when people just make up some random ass words and hope that nobody calls them out on it. Hope that nobody challenges them. To find out whether it's true or not. Because, if you challenge, you can, get points deducted. I think it's 10 points, right? Or if the person who's getting challenged is incorrect, they lose their turn, right? So why does Christian just put up some random thing? He always does this. He throws these like Hail Marys. It's like, oh, I'm just going to put this S on the back of the tofu.
Hold on 1 second. For people that are listening at home, our parents were not very original. I'm the oldest out of 5 kids. My name is Christopher. My youngest brother is Christian. So you are talking about my brother right now, not me. It's just for people that don't know who Christian is at home.
Okay, so Christian is his brother, yes. So Christian always does this. Like, he'll try to test you. And Chris does the same thing. They're just 2 peas in a pod, right? Let me just throw this word up here and see if it's going to stick. See if anyone will challenge me. And so Chris, he'll only challenge people if they're in the lead or if he thinks he has a chance of winning.
It's called strategy, yes.
He's got these strategies, which I kind of like the way that Jocelyn, our sister-in-law, plays because when she keeps track of the points, she doesn't add the points as we go. She just puts your points down and adds it at the end. Whereas with me, I keep track. Like
you're supposed to keep track. If
yes.
somebody asks,
so then
how many
Chris has his
there are,
strategy on who he wants to challenge, right? So Christian just decides to put an S on the end of tofu. Well, tofus is not a plural word. I'm sorry. Who thinks that's a word? I was like, no, I got to challenge this. And yes, maybe you may have won, not because of everybody, being on time, but maybe because I was challenging people with their nonsense words like tofus, or you added S to Javas. How is that plural? Well, there's no explanation of tofus when you look it up in the dictionary, but it is a valid Scrabble word for those of you out there who play Scrabble, and so is Javas. So I lost 20 points there because I'm challenge y'all. So maybe that's why you won.
Well, it's strategy, so maybe you shouldn't have challenged.
No, I don't know. I was just like, there's no way tofu is plural. It can't be plural.
I'm not going to waste my
Tofus?
time and challenge somebody if they have no shot at winning. My brother, Cori's brother-in-law, he was dead last by a lot of points. There was really no reason for you to challenge his tofus, except you just wanted, you didn't want him to be able to write a word that didn't make, that wasn't legitimate. Wasn't
No,
a
it's
Scrabble
because
word.
I needed to put a word where
Well,
he
there you
went.
go.
That's why.
There you go. So, see, I didn't challenge
strategy.
it.
That's
Strategy. I didn't challenge it because he had no shot at winning. So I was like, I'll pick my poison. I'll wait. I'll pick my time to go ahead and challenge. I don't know if I challenged anybody or not.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I ended up winning with a bunch of terrible letters. Still pulled out the victory.
Well, look at you.
I think I'm going to retire the champion forever.
Well, why don't we just get you a nice little Scrabble trophy to put on the shelf?
You should. I would love it. I'd love to have it.
All right.
You guys could all take a picture of it.
We'll put it on the shelf right next to the couch you're going to sleep on tonight.
Well, good thing I got that recliner because now I can just sleep on the recliner.
Oh, there you
tonight. I'm
go.
good.
Just don't be drooling on my recliner.
That's my recliner.
I bought it. So back to Mother's Day. I just wanted to give a nice shout out to all the lovely people out there who took the time out to just show some appreciation for me. So shout out to Julia, Robert, and Patrick and Tanya for the thoughtful Mother's Day gifts. So Julia, our title rep, she sent over a really sweet gift, a thoughtful gift of like a little cute Disney mug and a butterfly like wine glass. And it was so cute because she's very thoughtful. She like planned this out, right? But what she didn't think about is she thought it should be sweet and have her husband drop it off like at night. But we have that Ring camera. So I'm like, who is at our doorstep? Who is this man at our doorstep at 10 o'clock at night? And so I got a little freaked out. I go, babe, go check. It was like right after we put the kids to bed. And then
Nobody was there when I
Nobody was there. But yeah, because these rings, you don't pay attention to it, but you get notified when someone's creeping in front of someone's house, and be alert in your neighborhood because this person's been coming up to doors. So I got a little freaked out because who else would be at our doorstep delivering something, right?
I mean, it could have been Amazon or
at 10 o'clock at night.
I don't know. I feel like they're always delivering at our house, so who knows?
Not at 10 o'clock at night.
We have a lot of deliveries now.
Yes.
Think about just the delivery business. You got Amazon, you got the Uber Eats, right? And there's always something going on in our neighborhood. We're on a cul-de-sac, so we see it all the time too.
Right. So yeah. So thank you so much, Julia, if you're tuning in for the sweet gift. And then our producer, Robert, we love him to death. He's so sweet. He sent me some peonies, which were beautiful. They smelled amazing. But it was funny because he called me and he said, hey, did you just get a delivery? He goes, hey, do you have a neighbor who has a green door? And I'm like, what are you even talking about right now? He's like, well, I sent you something, but that doesn't look like your front door. And so he sent something, and on FedEx, you could track where it gets sent to, right? And they take a picture of where they left it. Well, why these beautiful flowers got delivered to our neighbor's house?
Which neighbor?
Right next door. At the end of the cul-de-sac.
Okay.
So I had to go over there all creeper status, and the owner was outside, who I've never met before because he rents the house out to tenants who we know.
Oh, by the mailbox?
Huh?
What neighbor are you talking about?
Right next door.
Oh, the owner was there.
The owner was there having
before.
stuff done on the house, right? And so I'm like, hey, hi, I'm your neighbor. My friend just delivered that to me. I think it's for me. I just don't want you to think I'm taking their stuff off their porch. And he's like, oh, no, go ahead. And so I'm trying to tell the people who live there through the Ring camera, hey, I'm just picking up this package. It was delivered to me, so they don't think I'm stealing their packages off the front door. And then he goes, oh, no, it's okay. They're not even home. I'm like, no, I know, but I want to tell them on the Ring. Oh, no, I don't think he knows how the Ring works. So he probably thought I was like this crazy lady just taking my package off. I don't know what he thought of me. But anyways, I finally got the flowers. And I'm just wondering how many people had flowers or a nice package delivered to either their family or their mom or their loved one on Mother's Day, and it never made it to them. How would they even know? Unless the person called, like Robert, like, hey, I sent something to you, but it's at the wrong door.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if anybody's watching,
Right.
looking at the picture, yeah, I think maybe he caught it because he's like director, producer, right? But I think the average man wouldn't catch it because I'm not paying attention to those text
No,
messages.
you just have something delivered. Well, and
I think
not
it's done. My
when you
job's done once I hit that button that I
once
pay
you
for
order it and
Yeah.
have it sent, right?
Yeah.
Well, with his, there was a FedEx tracking, so you could see it, but not every delivery company offers that.
Right.
So what if someone sends something to their mom that they haven't talked to in a long time, and then they're, gosh, my mom didn't even call me to say thank you for those flowers. Maybe the mom never got them.
You know what? And then on the flip side, I wonder how many people are like, their mom's like, oh my God, you didn't even call or you didn't send anything. Oh yeah, girl, I sent you some flowers.
I know.
The neighbor must have got them.
I know. Neighbors all enjoying those beautiful flowers. Oh my goodness. So anyways, and then Patrick and Tanya brought me flowers too.
That was
so
sweet.
Thank you so much for all the love everyone showed me. Now getting to you guys with your Mother's Day gift. So Chris and Santino on Mother's Day made a special breakfast for us. And Chris said that Santino did a lot of the work. He made the coffee. He helped with getting the pancakes ready and flipping them.
He put the brown sugar on the bacon.
There you go. He had to add his little sweetness and love into the whole meal. So it was really nice because on Mother's Day, for those of you who are just tuning in, I said, I just want to go to Disneyland. That's going to be my Mother's Day. It's so much fun there. I have a good time. And for us, we're not in a hurry to get out of the house when we're going to Disneyland. So on Mother's Day, we just chilled, relaxed, had some delicious breakfast. Thank you for that. And then I was able to open up all the little gifts that they made for me. And I'm just wondering out there, what other moms cry when they open up these gifts from their kids that are like so heartfelt, like they actually take the time to put it together? Because I was crying.
You're about to cry right now.
I know.
So Santino, man, I mean, he gets a lot of credit. So does his teacher.
Yes.
Right? So he made a heart pillow and sewed it and stuffed it into the whole nine.
I know.
That was pretty amazing. I was like, wow.
Yes, he sewed a pillow for me. And there was this cute little poem on it just saying, if you're ever feeling blue, you just hold on to this pillow and hold it tight. It's like so sweet. And the card too. Oh my gosh. Of course, the card's like, you're the queen of my heart. Oh my gosh. Who does this? Who comes up with these? Are like, let's make sure your mom cries on Mother's Day.
It was pretty neat. So I glanced at it and I saw that it's like a form and it has a lot of the stuff filled out, but it lets the kid
fill in
like the blanks. So it doesn't say queen. He decides to put queen in there, right? Like, so that was pretty neat. And then Nola, you got like the 3 pictures of her saying, I love you.
Yes. So her teacher had taken the time to take 3 pictures of them. And each thing says I and then heart and then love you or whatever. And she's so cute. She was really excited for me to open that up. And she even took the time with Chris to make a special Mother's Day card as well. And she colored it in, and you could tell she took her time with it. And then, of course, we have this ongoing joke of the family feud that we saw where I don't know if all of you have seen this, but if you get a chance, look it up, type in Family Feud mommy, right? And they're asking the contestant, how many ways can you say mother or your mom, right?
Right.
So they're like mom, mother, ma. And this one mom's like mommy, right? Okay, so mommy's on there. And they get back to her again and she's like, mommy. And he's like, you already said mommy.
No. But she's like, no.
She's like, no, mommy.
So we saw the extended version of that. It's like 10 minutes.
It is so
and
funny.
They go back to her more than once.
And 2 of the times she's like, mommy. And it's the most hilarious thing ever. Get a chance to check it out.
That lady still doesn't get it.
She still never got it. And so they put that on the card to the best mommy. And we just start cracking up.
Yeah, the inside joke.
We had
that
our
was cool.
inside joke.
We made that card.
Yes.
We just printed it and put some staples on it and actually made a card. And then you got your mugs.
Yes. So Chris got a best mom mug and also a thermos too.
A tumbler.
And a Boss Lady tumbler. And then they also gave me Yoda Best Mommy Disney Star Wars t-shirt, and it was perfect for Disneyland, so I wore that day.
Well, it's a little Yoda.
There's a Yoda on it with some hearts, and it says Yoda, best mom.
So Sam's Adventures with us here, and she says she also cries.
Oh,
Thank you for joining us, by the way.
Thank you so much for being here, Soul. We appreciate you. So I'm sure she got a lot of crying in because she's got babies over there. She's got 5 babies. Yeah.
What?
Yes. She's got 2 of her kids are grown, and then the 3 littles.
I haven't met the older ones.
Yes. So it looks like she had a fun Mother's Day because she had the mariachi there too.
Wow, that's awesome.
I know.
Mother of 5.
So getting back to our Disney Day, so our Mother's Day, we went to Disneyland, right? My wish was fulfilled, and we had a lot of firsts for us. So I don't know if all of you have like a routine when you go to Disneyland, or if you just go and, some people don't get the opportunity to go all the time. So they, try to fit as many rides in as possible. But this time we try to do a little bit more experiences, and we watched the Lion King show, and that was cool.
I love anything. Like, my favorite ride at Disneyland is Small World, and my favorite ride at California Adventure is Ariel. And it's because both of them I get to sit down for an extended period of time in air conditioning, right? So sitting down to watch the Lion King show, which if anybody's wondering where that is, it's right behind Small World before you hit Toontown.
Yes.
Right up by the bathrooms. And it's where you take the train that goes around the park. It's right there. And they've had that little amphitheater there forever.
Right.
But they stopped having shows.
For a long time.
For
during
a long
COVID,
time.
Yeah.
Now they got the Lion King. Man, that was awesome. So you don't have to spend, $1,000 by taking a family forward to Pantages to see the Lion King.
Right.
Just especially small kids, they're not going to appreciate it.
Get a little taste of it and see how they do with that show. And if they're really into it, then take them to one of those live shows, because it was really good. I was sitting there thinking, wow, these performers and these artists, they like strive to be like at that point. But I'm like, wow, they're doing such an amazing job here at Disneyland. And we didn't even have to pay those prices to go to the Pantages or to go to Broadway. I was like, they're really good.
We did spend a lot of money on those magic keys. So
I know, but it's nice because you don't always get like that great of a performance. I wouldn't expect that great of a performance. It was really good. And then the other thing we did is the kids have never walked through the castle.
I've never walked through the castle.
Yeah, so we went through the castle, which was really cool. They loved that. And we also had reservations at the Carthay Circle restaurant in California Adventure. So last time we went there, we had the al fresco dining. I thought it was the actual restaurant, but it was just like tapas there. So this time we had the opportunity to enjoy an actual sit-down meal, which was nice. And I was a little concerned because the kids are very picky with their food. And the last time we were there, they didn't like their butter noodles. So we got some mac and cheese on the way over. And I brought it with us. And I'm like, please, I hope they don't give us a hard time. And when the lady sat us down, she was like, yeah, there's no outside food allowed in here. I'm like, oh no. She's like, ask your server, see what they say before they start eating. And I was like, man, please don't make this be a bad experience for me. Because outside food, is that really outside food? Because we're in California Adventure. Like, it's not like I'm bringing McDonald's to like a Ruth Chris. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So luckily the waitress was very nice. She's like, yes, your parents, you want to have a good time, let them eat their mac and cheese in peace. So they had their mac and cheese. We had an amazing dinner, and it was so nice and relaxing. So it was very nice.
You had some kind of chicken, right?
Yes.
And then I had salmon. The mashed potatoes were off the hook.
That food was so good.
That bread too was amazing.
Yes.
But so if nobody's ever been there, it was called the Cathay Circle. So it's an exact replica, or they try to make it seem like the place where Walt Disney received his first Oscar. Mm-hmm. So you see there's a lot of pictures on the wall. The ambiance is awesome.
Yes.
Right? So
it's like old Hollywood in there.
Yeah, it's
beautiful.
An experience.
Mm-hmm.
It's an experience. It's something you should check out, especially if you're into fine dining and you want to know you're into the history of Walt Disney.
Yes.
Got to check it out.
It was so cool. Totally geeked out when we were there. And you walk through and you're like, they have these separate rooms. It's beautiful inside. So Sol said yes, she had a nice Mother's Day. And she says, we have to watch the show next time, but I really miss the Frozen show. I never got to see the Frozen show. Maybe they'll bring it back. Because, they like rotate shows, right?
Right. Just on a little tangent really quick, talking about shows and Disney, we saw a little bit of American Idol last night, and they were at Disneyland.
Yes, they were at Disneyland for Mother's Day. They were at Disneyland a couple days prior to us going, but it was pretty cool to see.
Yeah, the kids kept asking last night, because we never watch it live, but the kids kept asking, were we there at the same time? And then they love Ian Thongi, right? And Santino's like, we were right there where Ian is, right? Like, and then at Disneyland, he's like, can't believe he's in the same place where these other contestants were walking. It's so funny to hear him say that stuff.
Oh my goodness. So yeah, well, we had a great time at Disneyland. We were there till 9. We got kicked out of the park, right? Out of California Adventure, because they had grad night, which I thought that was a little interesting to have a grad night on Mother's Day on a Sunday. Just seemed weird to me.
It doesn't seem weird to me at all. It's probably a slow night there, and that's the time you're going to schedule it, is on one of their slower days, right? Thank goodness that there's not a lot of Disney moms like you, because it was actually pretty open.
Yes, it wasn't that crowded.
It wasn't that crowded. The weather was amazing.
Yes.
I know we ended up getting the Genie Pass, but we were able to get on rides rather quickly anyway.
Right.
I think we got lucky and we got on Thunder Mountain without even using a pass.
We walked on
a Thunder
because
Mountain.
it was closed, and we walked by right when they reopened it, so it was perfect.
So good to be lucky sometimes.
I know.
So it was a great experience. It was one of the more memorable, fun Disney trips that we've had.
Yes, it was.
We have
so
fun
nice.
every time, but it was like everything went flawless. It was perfect.
I know. So perfect. Mother's Day is great. We got home at like 10:30, and I don't know how I got up Monday morning, but I made it to Orange Theory at 5 a.m. with the Disneyland hangover. How? How did I do that? I was a complete zombie that day. I don't even remember driving to the gym.
I
don't even remember getting back either.
So you did have an extended Mother's Day, right?
Yes.
Because you had posted about Orange. Oh, did you get a free class?
I'm very curious to find out. I have to check and see, because the trainer that day, she's not very warm and fuzzy, so I wasn't going to try to ask her. She probably would have got really mad if I asked.
They're not going to just give it to you. You got to demand it.
I know.
We know
I
that
understand that.
We know that about businesses and corporations. They're not just going to give you something.
No, of course you have to ask, so I'm going to double check.
Right. But you actually got to take a nap that day. I was really surprised.
I didn't get to. My body would not allow me to stay awake any longer. I had no choice. I was falling asleep. I was like, it is time for me to go Mimi's for a little bit. I never take naps, but there was no way I was going to make it through that day. I was so tired. It was exhausting.
I wouldn't even have called you if I would have known you were napping. I called you and you're like, hello.
No, I did not.
Hello.
You and your stories, you're always making stuff up. Why are you making it sound like I've smoked for 30 years?
No,
that's not how I sounded.
You didn't sound like that. I'm just kidding.
You are way too much. Oh my gosh. So speaking of Mother's Day, we announced that we had a fun Mother's Day giveaway contest, right? It was for the Ali Wong show this Friday night. And I am so excited because we had quite a few people who entered the contest, and we selected the winner, who has already been contacted, but we wanted to congratulate her here on the show. Congratulations, Jeanette. Her hubby, Lee, nominated her to win these tickets, and we're so excited for them. They're going to be joining us this Friday, along with some of our other clients who won tickets at our client appreciation event. So I'm very excited. We're going to be going this Friday with Jeanette, Lee, Shirley, and Chris, and it's going to be so much fun. I'm really excited about it.
I think I got to take a nap in the middle of the day.
It's going to be one of those long days.
It's like 10 o'clock. I'm already in bed at 10 o'clock. The show starts at 10 o'clock.
You sound such like a grandpa right now.
Sometimes I feel that way. I mean, look, we don't go out late at night. It's just not a thing that we do.
It's once in a long time, babe. You will be fine.
I'm not complaining about it. I'm actually really looking forward to
Okay.
it. We haven't been to a stand-up comedy show, I think, since it was Bigger and Blacker. It was Chris Rock
What are you talking about? We just went to a stand-up comedy show with our friends.
Oh, I'm talking about like a headline show, like Ali Wong.
Oh, okay.
Like a big comedian.
Like
the last one we did was Chris Rock.
Like a comedian that's really funny?
Yeah, like one that's really funny.
That's terrible.
A headliner, right?
Right.
I haven't seen something like this, like a full-on, it's probably my guess is she's going to be 60 to 90 minutes, right?
Right. 90 minutes.
90 minutes. It's going to be a good time. I read that we got to get there an hour early.
Yes.
It's really interesting. So she has a big hit show on Netflix called Beef. But I read that her ex-husband is also her tour manager.
Oh, wow.
Who also could be found at her shows peddling her merchandise. So when we get there early and we go to check out the Ali Wong merchandise, if it's her husband, I'm taking a picture with him.
Sitting there. I don't think he's gonna. Is he really gonna be sitting there?
If he is, I'm taking a picture with him. I think that's gonna be hilarious.
Oh my gosh, I just can't. It's just weird.
Yeah, and now she's dating Bill Hader, I think his name is.
Okay.
From SNL. Man, they probably have to have some really funny conversations being two comedians.
Either that or they just shut it down. Like they do that for a living. They probably just.
I don't think you could turn off funny. If you're funny all the time.
You think so?
I think so, yeah. Like comedians, I don't know. I would like to think that anyway.
Right.
I'm probably wrong, but.
Oh my goodness. Well, we're going to have a wonderful time this weekend, or the beginning of this weekend on Friday.
Well, what do the kids call it? The freaking weekend.
Yeah, the freaking weekend. We did have a lot of other people who entered the contest, and I think we're going to be sending out a few little consolation prizes. So thank you so much for everyone who did join in on the contest and put in submissions. We really appreciate you. And thank you so much for subscribing to our show and listening, because without you, the show really isn't that much fun. So we appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining in on it. And one person in particular, Nicole, we'll be reaching out to you, Nicole. Thank you so much for your heartfelt message that you sent on Instagram. We do appreciate you, and we'll make sure that we're going to get you something special. So Chris has been busy playing with the kids outside, which we talked about a little bit earlier. You always got to make time for that. And he also went back to jujitsu yesterday, right?
Yes.
How was that for you?
I mean, it wasn't bad. I got lucky because there was an odd number of people in my group. And when I say my group, I mean the heavier guys. It's so funny because there's like the guys that are like the weight that I think that I am in my head, like probably like 160, 170 pounds that are in a group. And then there's the guys like the big guys, right? That are like, I don't know, 185 to like 220 that I'm like, I'm not in their group. I'm in their group.
Yeah, you're in their group.
Yeah, I'm in their group. I'm one of the big guys now, which is really weird. But,
all right, big guy.
I need to drop like 20 pounds. But anyhow, I got lucky that there was an odd number of guys, so I got to take little breaks in between rolling and sparring. So that was really nice.
Nice. Well, I don't mean to interrupt your jiu-jitsu conversation, but Jeanette is here with us today. Thank you so much for joining us, Jeanette. She said, thank you again, guys. We're just joining in on the live. So she is here. Thank you so much for being here with us. And we can't wait to laugh with you on Friday.
Oh, I know we're going to have a great time with them. And she's another crazy Disney lady like you.
Yes, she is. And it's not crazy Disney lady.
No, they're a Disney family.
I cannot with you today.
They're a Disney family, and so are we. So it's going to be a good time.
She is a Disney fanatic. That sounds a lot better than a crazy Disney lady.
I'm joking. She knows I'm joking too.
No, I understand that, but I don't like that. Don't be labeling us crazy.
Oh, don't start with the labels. That's this whole generation now. I'll label this and label that.
I'm just
not
saying.
doing the labels here, girl.
I'm just saying. It's okay to love Disney and appreciate Disney.
I didn't say it wasn't.
It's jolly. It's magical.
I did not say it wasn't. So anyhow, let's switch things up to real estate because this girl's just hammering me today.
You wish. So switching things up to real estate, Chris had an open house for our Sylmar listing on the weekend on Saturday, and it was held from early in the morning, right? 9 to 3?
Well, I got
earlier.
So it was 10 to 2.
Oh,
but
okay.
It ran long.
Okay.
And you got to get there early, right?
Yes.
You got to make sure that you're there. You set it up. Yeah, interesting because that market is different than the Canoga Park market.
Right.
It's the same price point, tri-level, actually a lot nicer place as far as
Right.
being newer, bigger, right? having bedrooms and bathrooms on every floor.
Right.
I just thought it would go the first weekend.
Right.
But for the people that missed it, you still have a shot at it.
Oh, it's still available.
It's still
That's
available.
awesome.
So, I mean, we have showing restrictions there, so it's going to make it a little bit more difficult. I think it's going to sell after the next open house.
Right.
But people need to jump on that property, like 1,920 square feet,
Maybe
five
there
bedroom,
weren't
four
a lot of
bathroom.
people there because it was Mother's Day weekend. Maybe people were busy or out of town. So maybe you'll have a little bit more traffic this weekend.
That's what I'm thinking too. We did have 4 showings yesterday.
Oh, wow. That's great.
Yeah, so that was a big deal. I think it's going to sell quickly.
Yes.
People need to just jump on something because I'll tell you what, it's getting more expensive to buy a home. The rates are going up. I think they're like today they're sitting roughly like around 6.5 to like 6.75. But there's no inventory. So for people like waiting for the market to crash,
I don't think it's
not
gonna
happening.
happen. Yeah.
There's still so many people that want to own a property.
Right.
They're sick of renting because the rents are just going up and up and up and up, right? That they're like, I'm done, I'm buying something, but then, there's nothing to buy.
Right. Right.
So it's making it really tough right now.
Well, after you had your open house, you then jammed over to Stevenson Ranch to show a listing, right, for one of our buyers. And this home has been kind of on their radar. And you went back over there. They've already seen it one other time, went back again, and you submitted an offer for them, right?
Yeah. So this is going back to what we were talking about earlier, like how the spring season has kicked off.
Right.
Right. So open house in the morning. I think that was like a 15-hour day for me.
Yes.
So because I started setting up at 6.
Right.
So 9 to 3, finally clean up. 3:30 was my showing. Remember, I always talk about efficiency.
Yes.
Right. So like most people would think like you're gonna go nuts having stuff lined up so close, but you have to. There's only so many hours in the day.
Right.
So we did that, and then 5:30, I had a final walkthrough in Sun Valley. So I went from Sylmar, Stevenson Ranch, back to Sun Valley. It was a crazy day, but we ended up putting an offer in on the property in Stevenson Ranch, which is really hard to get something there because there's no inventory in Stevenson Ranch ever.
Right.
Huge house. It's like 3,300 square feet. It's right across from Pico Elementary.
Yes.
Neighborhood is amazing. Built 2001. I think it's also a 5-bedroom, 4-bathroom as well. We're in escrow.
Yay. Congrats to our buyers.
So happy for them. We opened escrow, and this is how fast we move, right? What's today? Wednesday?
Today is Wednesday.
So Monday night, our offer was accepted, right? And we're able to get some money back for closing costs as well, which so happy. So we got some money back for closing costs. I got a call Tuesday morning, the next morning from the listing agent saying, are your clients going to move forward? They already had signed the contract. The sellers did and sent it to us. I was like, yeah, they're moving forward. We're going to get the earnest money deposit in today. You know, I want to actually schedule a home inspection for 3:00. So like within less than 24 hours, we already set up the home inspection, the earnest money deposit. Well, she was like, oh, because we got another offer over the list price.
Oh, good thing you got that offer in.
Thank goodness she signed that offer right away. She got that offer signed right away. So our clients got a deal on that one.
Yes.
And I knew they were getting to like hurry up and make this offer because people just miss that open house time. When there's restrictions, sellers, anybody out there, when you make restrictions on showing your home, you might be losing. You're going to be losing buyers,
potential buyers. Yeah.
And what happens is that's this house specifically. It's only open during the open house. If it was just open like vacant, go direct, it would have sold over 1.2, and we got it for.
Well, you don't want to disclose all that until closing, right?
Well, I could disclose.
Okay.
And we got the list price is 1,169, and we got under asking. That's huge. That's huge.
Awesome. I'm so excited for them. I can't wait until we can deliver keys to them because, yes, they're one of our amazing clients.
We were lucky enough to sell them a property 7 years ago.
Yes.
And
Now
you know what's so
moving up.
cool is they were asking me like, we were just asking, we know we could just be open with you because we know like it's like friends, like family.
Yes.
Like their daughter calls me uncle, which I think is pretty cool. But
She's so cute.
So cute. But anyhow, I just love that that's the kind of rapport that we have with our clients. Like
Yes.
it's like a family. Like when they buy a house or sell a house through Silver Realty, they're part of the Silver family. It just is what it is.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We love seeing our clients do well. We love seeing their families grow. And part of us being able to see that is with our events too, right? Because then we get to all get together because you get to spend a lot of time with families when they're looking for a home. It's kind of bittersweet on the day you give them their keys because you don't get all that one-on-one time anymore. So that's why we love our events because we get to reconnect, see them grow. And since they live in Stevenson Ranch, we get to see at school too. We get to see their kids grow. So
Right.
it's always nice. So you made it to the elite meeting today, right?
I did.
How did that go?
It went really well. So I'm actually excited to be calling some of our clients. So we, some buyers are like ready to go and some aren't, right? And same thing with sellers. Like not everybody's so gun ho. Like sometimes people like they're crunching numbers and crunching them again and crunching them again. Well, we have buyers that are like teetering because the rates are a little higher and the price, if they were looking before us, which I think they were looking with somebody else before us, the prices have jumped up and so have the rates. So like you're not getting the same caliber of house you were getting last year.
Right.
And it's more expensive for a smaller house this year, right?
Right.
Which has been the trend for like the last 6 years, right? So anyhow, I heard about a listing coming out in Canyon Country. It's not on the market yet. It's coming out next Thursday, 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom. I think it's like 1,400 square feet. Needs a little bit of work, but good sized lot. It's a house.
Right.
For $675, like in Shadow Pines area.
That's good.
So I know the agent well. I asked the agent, I'm like, can I please show it before anybody else sees it? And if we make a good offer, will your seller accept it? She's like, yes and yes.
Awesome.
So I'm making that call as soon as the show ends and trying to get them into that house and see if they want to move forward on something like that.
Well, another one of the huge benefits of networking with other agents in our valley. So that's awesome.
Something that I think that we're going to have as we start to have guests, because we're really pushing to start having guests on the show, right? We're just our lives are so crazy and busy that it's tough because we have this 1 hour and a half window to shoot this show. So we're trying to get guests to fit into that same time schedule as us.
Right.
So that's why we haven't had as many guests or any guests recently. But we're probably going to have some other agents on here. And the girl I was talking to today, she's like, I'd love to be on your podcast. So,
because you could get a different perspective too from other agents, right?
Yeah, hear some stories from other agents. And it just goes to show that for any agents that are watching, because I know there's agents that watch this show, but don't comment on it because they don't want their clients to know like they're watching some other agent show, which is crazy to me. There's so many clients for everybody, right?
There's an agent for each client.
It doesn't always have to be a competition between agents.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like there's somebody for everybody. Like your sister's not going to want to buy a house through me. She's going to buy it through you.
Right.
You know what I mean? So so it'd be cool to get other people on here, see some other fresh perspectives. And then you could see like we network so much. There's a lot of agents that we're friends with that we'd be happy to have on the show.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. I was talking to some other people last night too about coming on the show. So we have some guests that are getting lined up. But like Chris said, we just have to make sure that their schedules fit in. And we may not even have like all live shows. We may have some pre-recorded shows to fit with other people who own their own business. Like they have a business to run. They may not be available at 12 o'clock on a Wednesday. So if you are interested, please reach out to us because we do have quite a few people in the works that we're just trying to iron out the details, but we'd love to have you on the show. We think it would make it that much more interesting for our guests and our clients who watch and our friends and family. So excited about that. Well, this week on Monday, Chris has a new listing. This past Monday, he met with sellers for our new listing coming up in North Hollywood. And do you want to talk a little bit about that particular property? I know we have some photos that are going to be scheduled coming up this week.
Friday, we're shooting video and pictures this Friday.
Awesome. Well, it's interesting because this particular seller, he has all his neighbors reaching out to him because they heard through the grapevine that they're planning on selling.
4 neighbors have already asked him to buy the house.
And it's so funny because there are neighbors who are like, I will buy this house from you directly. I will pay you cash. Don't get any agents involved. Let's just sell it off the market. And thankfully, our seller knows better. He said, nope, you need to talk to my agent, because he knows that some of these people, they just want a deal, right? They don't want to compete with other people. They want to have
Right.
their first offer in. And yes, if you feel like you're going to give them a good deal, great, make them a real offer. Just because you're going to give them cash, that doesn't mean anything. Like, they still want to see what other people are going to offer them for their house.
Right.
Like, why would you want to undercut somebody?
Well, I mean, what they're trying to say is why pay commissions?
Right.
You know, you're going to save 5-6% by just selling it to me. But what they're not telling them is I want to pay 10% less than what anybody else is going to pay
Exactly.
for it.
Right.
So they would be leaving money on the table. You know what? So I want to just talk about how special this house is, because for people like you, you like care about energy in a house, right?
Absolutely.
You want to know like
I want to know the history on the
history of the
house.
home, right?
Yes.
So the history of this home is there's only been 2 owners. It was built in 1947.
Wow.
This family bought it like in 1962. They've been in since 1962.
They raised their whole family there.
So
They've had generations there.
generations.
Yes.
So the seller, I was at the table with him and his kids who are grandparents. So he has great grandkids already.
I'm telling you, there's been
right?
generations in that
They've
home.
all been raised in this house.
Yes.
You know, well, not the great grandkids, but they've
But
been
they
in there.
go there to visit.
They were showing me one of
Family
the rooms,
get-togethers.
and they were saying like it was the room that it was the mother's favorite room. His wife that passed away a few years ago, and they're like the kids, the great grandkids, made this into a library. So like they have their books, it's their reading room, and it's so they can feel closer to Sugar Mama. They call their great grandma Sugar
that's
Mama.
so sweet.
So it's so sweet, right? But they've done so much work to it underneath the carpets, and this is everybody's dream when you go look at an old house.
Yes.
They have the old wood floors under there.
No way.
Yeah, the original wood floors are under there. It's a 3-bedroom, 1-bath. It's like on 7,000 square feet, but it has a long driveway with a detached garage. And then there's even more room for another ADU. You could build 2 ADUs on this.
Wow.
Plus the house. So like
so much opportunity there.
so much opportunity. So it's set up for an investor as well. I pitched it today, and I had somebody come up to me after and like, I have somebody for this house. You know, they're looking for the next investment, and I think this would be perfect for them. And I'm like, yeah. So just what I want any agent to know and a buyer to know, you by having networking and having connections, it doesn't mean you're going to get a deal from the listing agent.
No.
It just means you'll have
that-
the opportunity to pay the most for the house.
Yes.
That's what it means.
Yes.
Right? So, you know, if a listing agent is doing right by their seller, they're never going to give anybody like an inside track to get a discount on the house.
No.
What they can do is advise their seller on what offer to take, which is most of the time going to be one of the more expensive, the highest offer, right? One of the
Yes.
highest offers. But because they have a relationship with that other agent, that they know that the agent's going to get it done.
Yes.
Right? So,
Yes.
anyhow,
Like, you're going to all be on the same even playing field, right?
Yes.
And let's say you all come in with the same offer. They're going to go with the agent that they know is going to get the job done. Like, they're not going to try to undercut their seller because you want that house so bad.
right. Anyhow, I'm really looking forward to it. It made me feel really good. So, the son of the seller was there, and I had met him before, right? And he was saying, when my dad said he was going to sell, the first thing he said is when he's ready to sell the house, the thing that he said after that was call Chris. That's such a great compliment. You know, you built
Yes,
that
absolutely.
relationship with the family, and I try to honor that relationship always, right? So it makes me feel good that they know that they can trust us.
Absolutely. I love their family.
Such a great family. It's really something to admire that family's so close. That's what we want for our kids. We want our kids to be so close growing up. Like, it's so important that you instill that into your children.
Absolutely. I love that. I love it. Oh, it makes me feel good. And my heart warm. So, well, luckily, they have stuff lined up for that seller, and hopefully we'll get them. I'm sure it's going to sell so quick because it's such a highly desirable area. And knowing that there's so much love that's been put into that home, it's going to go so quick. I can't wait to see what type of offers they get on that house. So coming up this week, I am so excited because I'm getting the Invisalign removed, even though I'm not 100% satisfied. But I'm at that point where I'm ready just to, get my retainers and move on.
Uh-oh.
I know. Has anybody else had a wonderful experience with Invisalign, or do you feel like, meh, okay, my teeth are all right?
It's so funny that you bring this up. One, I didn't know you were getting them removed, your Invisalign. But I saw that Smile Direct commercial yesterday.
Oh, yeah, I told you it's going to pop up now since we're talking about it.
Right, since we're talking about it. But you don't wear it all day. You just wear it when you sleep.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I should try this janky version of Invisalign.
Maybe you should.
And see if I can have a beautiful smile and I just earn it in my sleep.
Jocelyn had that, and her teeth are super straight. Yes, she used it.
I've told that girl. She was talking about getting some
Yeah.
veneer. Anyhow, I was telling her how great her smile is.
Yes.
Yeah, she has a beautiful smile.
So maybe you should try it out.
Maybe I will.
Speaking of Invisalign and like dentists and stuff, is anyone just kind of disappointed with like their insurance? Because I feel like I get so disappointed. It's so hard to understand health insurance, dental, vision. Then once you finally understand it and you find a doctor that you're happy with, then they go and drop you're no longer in the network. And now you got to find somebody else to go to. And build rapport with someone and feel comfortable with them cleaning your teeth.
Right. With all this technology, you would think that you could. So, like, for example, in the back of my mind, I know I'm going to have knee surgery eventually.
Right.
Right. But, it's going to take time away from work. It's my right leg and I drive with this one. Right. So I don't know how long it's going to keep me away from work.
Right.
But more importantly, I'm thinking about the damn copay. Like, that's going to be a big deductible to pay up front. Right. Because when you work for yourself, the insurance is not that good.
Right.
Right. I mean, yes, you can have great care, but you pay a big deductible up front.
Premium,
right?
And then your deductibles are
and then
high.
A percentage of the surgery.
It's so confusing.
I'm not trying. So I would like an app. And if this exists, please tell me what it is, where I can say, here's my insurance, right? What I have right now, punch it in. I need to have knee surgery.
Okay.
How much is it going to cost me?
Okay, so this is a wonderful question that you have because that's what they have through our insurance, Anthem Blue Cross. You go on and they have a care finder. You put in what you want. It spits out stuff. Like the technology should be there and tell you exactly who you can go to, how much this estimated cost will be. Do you think that's accurate? No.
Well, with the tone of your voice, I would say no.
No, because I've gone on there and my dentist is in my network online. However, the last time I went there, they kicked it back and I had to pay the full price because we're no longer in your network. I'm like, really? Because my insurance company says I am.
So now you got to double check.
So then I had to call in to the insurance company and they said, oh yeah, they're no longer in your network. I'm like, well then why does your app say that they are? Oh, sometimes they fall off and then we don't update our records.
So this is a lesson for anybody
so annoying.
Else. For anybody else that wants to become a full-time realtor or is looking to start their own business and they have a current job that has great medical benefits, let's just throw that on there on the pros and the cons list. That I think our insurance is like $1,300 a month.
No, it's higher than that.
Oh my God, I don't even want to know how much. Let's say it's $1,500 a month. On top of that, it's not accurate. I mean, like you have this insurance that you think you have coverage and you don't. Like you have to be your own insurance broker as well. It's so frustrating. It's really frustrating.
I'm like, how do we have AI and they're making robots and stuff, but I can't find out if my dentist is in my network and that my care will be covered with the insurance that I pay $1,500 a month for?
Because I'm sure these big insurance companies don't want it to be easy.
They don't. It's so frustrating.
They're making so much money with it not being easy.
Oh my gosh. Who else is annoyed?
That's the number one thing I see when we do loan applications for people and they have bad credit. It's these like small BS medical collections that destroy people's credit.
I know. It's so frustrating.
Because they probably thought it was covered under their insurance and then it's not.
And they probably sent the bill to the wrong place. Ay. Okay, so sorry we got off on a little bit of a tangent there, but I was a little bit annoyed, and so that was tied into my Invisalign with my dentist. I'm in the market for a new dentist because they're no longer in my network. I don't understand why, but okay, probably just weren't getting paid enough. So This weekend, Santino has a play date with one of his besties, and he's been counting down the days. He's been asking me, Mom, what day is it that I'm getting with Mason again? Because do you know that I had to book his play date 2 months out in advance?
Mason's mommy's busy.
Mason's mommy is busy. She is busy working. She's got 3 kids. They probably all have play dates. I'm like, wow, she had to book me out 2 months in advance. So Santino it's like waiting to go to a show or something. It's like a vacation he's got planned.
What are you guys doing? Do you know?
We're going to their house. It's in the calendar. Make sure you don't make plans because you're going too. And we're having dinner at their house.
What?
Yes.
Okay, I gotta check when this is.
He said what? It's in the calendar. It's been in the calendar for 2 months.
I was never told that I was included on this play date.
Well, yeah.
All right. Well, as long as there's nothing else in the calendar, I'll make sure not to make plans.
Okay.
But the weekends are so tough. Well, the weekends are made for real estate in the summertime.
Well, we did postpone our family dinner so we could go to this. We're having dinner at their house. They had to move it up a little bit.
All right.
It was supposed to be in the day, but now it's dinner. So if you can't make it, it's no big deal. It's fine.
Well, if it's dinner, I could probably make it.
Okay.
During the day, probably not.
Okay. And then Chris gets to deliver keys to our buyer who just closed escrow this past week.
Saturday we'll be doing it.
I know.
So I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited to see what he's going to do with this place because just like we were talking about for the North Hollywood property, this is a Sun Valley property, little house in the front, detached garage, already started doing the ADU in the back, like the foundation's been laid down and they have permits for it.
Right.
So I'm excited to see what he does with that property.
Yes.
23-year-old kid, young man.
Young man, he's not a kid.
Not a kid, young man. Man, talk about having your head on right and having great parents, right? To just show you the way. That's the way to do it. They really pushed home ownership on him.
That's awesome.
And he ran with it. And I mean, he's buying his own place for like over $700,000 as a 23-year-old young man. So proud of this guy. So he's going to do big things. I bet you this is going to be first of like a lot of properties he ends up buying.
Awesome. Excited for him. So, and then this weekend is Chris and I's anniversary.
That is right.
It's our anniversary.
So May 21st, we'll be married for 18 years?
18 years.
Wow. How many years have we been dating? Is it 26 or 27 years?
It's 26 years.
26 years of dating. It's a long time. Wow, man. So are we really going to the beach on Sunday?
I put it in the calendar, Sunday fun day at the beach. You said, let's go to the beach. So I put it in there. I don't know, though. What does your schedule look like? Do you have other things planned?
I mean, I got an open house on Saturday. So I'll do an open house on Saturday for sure. So that way Sunday, and I'll push all my showings to Saturday. So that way Sunday we could be at the beach together.
Yes, it'll be so nice.
Cool.
Celebrate our anniversary.
I love being at the beach. We're such beach people.
We haven't been to the beach in so long. I think because the spring has been very mild and cooler.
Right.
But usually we're out at the beach by like February at least.
But I like even being at the beach with a hoodie on. Like,
yes, but we haven't gone.
You got sweats on. You know, at least your toes are in the sand and the kids are playing. You can still build a big old sand castle.
Yes. Enjoy the sound of the waves. Oh, so
but
nice.
You know what? You said we haven't been to the beach. We're usually there in February. We spent January at the beach, girl, in Hawaii. You were
feels
like
it was so long ago.
You were like these kids now. Like, when's the next time we going to Hawaii, Dad?
I didn't say that. Actually, that's you. You're the one like, I can't wait to get back to Hawaii. I want to be there.
Oh, if I could live there, I would.
I know you would.
I love Hawaii.
It's so nice. It's so nice.
It's beautiful. But we're going to be there again in September. It's right around the corner.
Right around the corner. Oh, I can't wait. I love the beach. It's my happy place.
Absolutely. Me too. So I think that's going to wrap up our show for today.
Is it? It's already done? But we've had so much fun.
I got to go make some plans for this anniversary. Do we have to get each other gifts?
I mean, you can do what you want to do, but I know what I'm doing. So don't ask me questions like that. Do you know that? Do you
know what you're doing? What did you do? Come on now.
I already got plans. Don't you worry about me.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, now you want to make some plans.
Half the time you don't even know when our anniversary is.
Shut up. Of course I know when our anniversary is.
I got to drop those hints to remind you when it is.
Oh, my gosh.
I think it was my idea that we were going to to the beach this Sunday. Didn't I say like, oh, our anniversary is coming up. We should go to the beach.
Yeah, and then right now you're acting all surprised, like, oh, I gotta push all my showings. I gotta do this. I'm gonna hold my open houses on Saturday. Like, oh, okay, you
What-
do you.
Let's go ahead and relive the moment of when I proposed to you on the beach. I'll find some crying woman to take a picture of us and the family while we're at the beach. Remember that?
You're gonna propose again? Make her
Maybe
cry?
I should. I'll propose next year so we can do it. Do you want to get married again when we hit our 20th anniversary, or do you want to wait till 25?
Why do you get married again? We're already
We
married.
should renew our vows.
I'm curious, like, what does that even entail, renewing our vows? What's the significance of that?
It's like a tune-up on the car, right?
But it's already fine. It's not like the car's stalling out. Like, what's the point of renewing vows? I'm curious.
It's like a celebration of all the time we've already made it. Like we've made it already this many years, you know?
I mean, I'm
So-
celebrating that every day with you.
All right, cool.
Every day I'm renewing my vows with you.
I mean, I'd rather save the money.
Can we just buy an investment? Can you give me a bigger house? Give me a pool?
I'm working on it. You're expensive, girl. You got expensive taste.
No, I do not.
You
No, I
do.
do not.
You do.
You are too much. He said I have expensive taste. I'm looking at my Old Navy jeans right now, my TJ Maxx or Marshall shirt, and my Marshall shoes. This is not expensive taste, let me tell you.
Well, yeah, but you also want $1.5 million house.
I don't, no.
Yes, you do.
I don't want to pay that price, though.
But that's what you want.
Who doesn't? Who doesn't want that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyhow, I'm working on it. Yeah, I guess I'll save my money. I'll save my pennies for
Save it. Just save it. We don't need to do all that.
the house.
We'll just go on a nice vacation with the fam bam. It'll be fun.
There you go.
Well, everyone, thank you so much for joining us here on R&R. That is going to be our show. We appreciate you hanging out with us on R&R Relationships and Real Estate. Be sure to catch us here weekly on YouTube Live and to listen anytime you want. You can always download full episodes on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Amazon Music. We are your hosts, Cori and Chris Silva, and we will catch you next week. Goodbye.